No experts, no insiders, just fans.
Transmission from Marked Up Wrestling Podcast begins in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Begin broadcast.
And we are here with Tuesday Night Smackdown, episode number 274. I am the two that leads the crew, Adam Baum. We got a lot to talk about. Storylines. We didn't get a lot in terms of matches. It was almost a flip-flop from last night. Medina's out sick, but I have the, do you want to be the Millennial Falcon or the voice of the silent majority?
I'm one in all.
One in all?
Yes.
What does
the
that mean?
third one. It just means I'm everything. Millennial Falcon.
Everything bad, maybe.
You know, I'm incredibly hungover today, and I'm still here. Hashtag where's
You're
Medina?
hungover from St. Patrick's Day. I don't know how many days ago.
I drank the day after, too.
Oh, well, that was smart.
St. Patrick's weekend.
Yeah, right. Who's on the board is going to be Anaconda Vice, Stike Leather, Daniel Price is here, Teddy Two Stone Heart.
Oh, man. I have no idea what's going on.
And I'm sure other people will be joining us as we go. AJC is over here on Twitch. He says, whatever idiot put the U.S. title overlay on AJ Styles should be fired. Yeah, on the graphic tonight, I did notice that. That was funny. We've got pretty much our topics. Number 1, Jew Guilt. Number 2, Who's in Charge. Number 3, Jeannie Mahal. Number 4, Pointless. Let's just get it going.
What you need to make a good smackdown is your 3 key ingredients.
So I gave you our topics already. We're going to get started with Jew Guilt. I kind of went with the Jew Guilt title here because that's just the way I felt about the whole thing. The way Daniel Bryan was pretty much telling Sammy and KO, you won, and yet you spit in the face of the guy who's leaving and gave you a singles match at WrestleMania. What was that was a very weird angle, I thought, for him to take. And, of course, it all just led up to the very, very simple 2 words you love to hear.
You're fired!
I don't know. For me, this made it more real. It didn't feel like they were forcing the storyline in any way. When Daniel Bryan came out and started saying that, you know, talking about how they used to be in the indies together,
What do they say? The armories and the gyms?
Yeah, I don't know. I bought it, and I'm sold on this storyline now. I'm excited to see where they go with it.
Justin joins us on Twitch. Also, my thing about this whole angle is this is the payoff. I mean, let's just put it frankly. This is going to lead to them obviously not being fired. KO and Sammy are going to take on Daniel Bryan and Shane in a tag match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And the crowd was chanting WrestleMania. He's pointing there. They're all pointing there. Everything's yes. He's cleared right beforehand. This is the culmination of all of it. And beyond kayfabe, Vince is not going to lose this guy because he will go somewhere else after 90-day no-compete. So This was the time to do it.
And I like to it finally made sense why Daniel Bryan had their sides that whole time where, you know, he was talking about, oh, I see myself in you guys. Yeah, I was living vicariously through you. I don't know. Like you said, this was the ultimate payoff. Everything sort of came together, and I'm wondering if they're gonna have some sort of loser has to walk storyline, shuffle up the roster. And
maybe the Dolph Ziggler challenging him backstage kind of thing. Yeah. Of all the matches, the board was talking about all these dream matches with Daniel Bryan being active that we might see. Dolph Ziggler's not on that list, right?
Yeah, but they got to do something
with
him.
I'm sure we've already seen it. But Daniel Price is talking about it on the board, and I've said it before. Wouldn't it be great if in that tag match, Daniel Bryan turned on them?
Yeah. Oh.
Turned on Shane, and the three of them were the dream team they hinted at tonight, Kevin.
Oh, I would love that. I didn't even think of it.
If they don't do a roster shakeup of this talent, you have AJ, Sammy, KO, Nakamura. You add in Bobby Roode, Randy Orton's there. Dolph's a good worker, and you've also got Rusev.
Yeah. The thing, and Jinder.
It's a very solid. I'm not counting him. It's a very solid little roster over there on SmackDown right now.
Yeah, the thing they could do with that too is those guys are so good that you don't even need a belt, and you could still have great storylines and matches you care about.
Yeah, Juan is here. So is the Hardley Boys. After 3 years, it was 2. AJC. He did correct himself on the board, but after 2 years, he is still the most over guy. The fans went absolutely crazy. A sign of respect is what Rody Rob always says when you cut a promo and the crowd is silent because they're waiting on your every word. Him tonight in the opening of the show,
that was great.
Everybody gave him that respect.
Yeah, and it was real. I mean, I was happy that they gave him, I don't know if it was 5 or 10 minutes or whatever it was, but they just kind of let him go out there and do his thing, and just everything. It was a great start, I think, to this episode. Just overall, I was really happy with the way this episode went.
And it was very real, him talking about his struggle and fight for your dreams, Bree would tell him, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I loved it.
I did also like Little Nate being backstage, the first guy to see him, so that was fun. Steichler says, bold prediction, Daniel Bryan is champion by the end of the year. Tonight pretty much confirms WWE doctors were shelving him to not hinder Roman's push, is what DP says.
Oh, God.
I don't know about that, Mr. Price, but I just think it was time to shit or get off the pot. Here's the other angle to take on this. It was rumored, whatever you want to call it, dirt sheeted for pretty much close to a year that he's been cleared by other doctors. Not WWE cleared, but every other doctor has cleared him, except for theirs. Now suddenly this comes to light in the WrestleMania season, and there was rumors that it was because he was a possible replacement, since Knock was basically challenging him on Twitter that he was a possible replacement for AJ after the knee injury over the weekend. We'll talk about that more on the dirt sheet, but obviously they're going to finish this storyline with the 4 of them. There's no question about that.
You have to. I mean, they've been building this one all year, and it's their strongest storyline.
Yeah.
Maybe even on the entire card.
Well, they've been playing it out since pretty much SummerSlam, pretty heavily with all 4 involved. I know Sammy got involved in the Hell in a Cell right after it, as when he entered the fray of the foursome, but we haven't seen. There's no point, Kevin. Here's the final way to say it. There's no point in putting Shane and Daniel Bryan on the same team with these seeds that have been sown of their rift between the 2 of them.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I didn't even think of that.
It's got to pay out some way.
Yeah, you need Bryan
and maybe,
or Shane. Maybe Shane takes.
And maybe at Backlash, Daniel fights Shane.
Yeah, that could work. Shane could go corporate.
Right, and KO and Sammy do whatever the hell they're going to do and do that. I think that's sort of the end of this one.
Number 2.
Number 2 is kind of piggybacking on this. So Shane he didn't resign. Like we said last week, I said he resigned and I was corrected. He took an indefinite leave of absence or whatever you want to call it. So he's not technically done. And Daniel Bryan can't pull both roles. They won't allow that. So once he announces when he's returned to the ring, once he declares himself in a match or makes this match next week, both of them will probably make this match next week. Once that happens, who's in charge after Mania? Who's in charge even leading up to it?
Well, so this is why I wrote it down in my notes. When he fired KO and Sammy, I was like, oh, maybe, this is how they get around this whole storyline, is that, Shane has to walk and Daniel Bryan obviously is going back to fighting. And, maybe that's how KO and Sammy stay on SmackDown.
Do you think instead of having it be a firing, like if they lose, they go to Raw?
Well, yeah, I mean
Like,
that would be
Because we know nobody's going to get fired.
Right.
Firing doesn't last very long unless they're trying to do the kayfabe thing and Shane and Daniel lose and both get fired. And then Daniel, all the rumors is he's going to Ring of Honor. And then he ends up coming back. I don't know. Stike Leather asked the question. That's a good one. Where do you place this match on the WrestleMania card?
it's got to be toward the end. Probably right after
Would you
Taker.
consider it one of the main events? Obviously,
Oh,
AJ
it has
Knock
to be.
is. Obviously,
yeah.
Roman and Brock are. And I would think Cena and Taker would be the third this year.
Yeah. I don't know.
If not Triple H and Kurt in the mixed match. I'm talking about the way they're going to book them as the main events.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Not
the
the
T-shirt,
order.
right? See, the way they do the T-shirts kind of thing.
Well, this is going to be huge now that it has, hypothetically, now that it will have Daniel Bryan in it.
And by the way, he took some serious bumps tonight.
Yeah, but you could tell they were going a little easy on some of the kicks.
AJC says, notice the difference last night? Face on a stretcher, one crowd chanting, you deserve it, and the other crowd saying, you still got it.
Oh, that's a great point.
That is a great comparison. Because why not do this? It's there. This is the way to play it. They did no justice in their story last night. Tonight, they did no good matches, but there was a lot of story for that. Anaconda Vice says, Miz versus Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam. I would love to see them fight over the belt. There is rumors that Miz or Rollins could be coming back to SmackDown, but Miz is going to take that time off, so who knows? I'm worried we're going to lose AJ. Knox going to take the title, and we're going to lose AJ.
Yeah, that could happen. Where do you think Bryan goes?
Bryan, I think Bryan stays on SmackDown. I think they would have to trade too many people for all the seeds they've sown. I think Rollins comes over, and I think we lose AJ.
And then who does Nakamura feud with?
Nakamura feuds with Daniel Bryan, whoever.
Yeah, I mean, you think they'd give Daniel Bryan a push that quickly, or do you think he's going to work his way up?
I don't think they could not. I don't think they give him the belt. I think they work around that. But the way he's still over after 2 years, it's freaking ridiculous. Cashmere is here. The club goes to SmackDown if AJ comes to Raw. Yeah, I don't know about that. If it's all three of them, yes. If not, I could see Finn and AJ fighting for control over the club over on Raw. That's just my opinion. Oh, God.
Oh, that would be a good little clash.
Right.
Number 3.
All righty. So this topic is called Genie Mahal. Stike, you and I have talked about this for a long time, that it was going to lead to a triple threat with Orton, Rude, and Mahal. It's official. And Kevin wants to tell us why still Jinder Mahal is the guy that's making this feud interesting.
Well, I like how you put Genie Mahal.
Mahal, yeah, because he got his wish granted because he doesn't deserve to be here.
No, it's because dude worked his magic tonight, came out.
Do you know what a genie is?
Yeah,
Genie grants wishes.
They grant wish.
Right. There's no magic involved. He found
so
a
when
lamp.
you rub a freaking lamp and a
yes.
mystical being comes out that's
he
not...
found a lamp. 2 Singh brothers popped out, and he got his wish granted, became champion, and now he's going to WrestleMania in a title match, even if it is the mid-card.
Yeah, but don't you feel like this whole match just got more interesting? I mean, he comes out, other than KO and Sammy, he's the only guy who gets legit heat from the crowd on the show.
Legit heat. Define legit heat.
They boo the fuck out of him, and he works him. He's gotten really good.
Boo the fuck out of him. Roman is trying to pander to the crowd, and he gets more boos. I guess if you want to compare him to Baron Corbin, who gets crickets, you're absolutely right, Kevin.
Yeah.
But he doesn't get
the number 2 heel.
He is not getting heel heat.
Yes, he is. He's a classic heel, and that's what I love about him. He doesn't have to do crazy things like KO to get heat. I mean, he just works the crowd, and he works it brilliantly. And I just have to say, he made this now triple threat match fun. I don't care if people don't like it. That's how I feel. And I'll admit, yeah, his wrestling isn't the best.
AJC agrees with me. He says it's more of get off my TV heat. Yeah, they want him to go away. It's not like, Kevin Owens gets heel heat. The way he insults a crowd. Elias gets heel heat. The way Jinder gets
he
like
insults the crowd as well.
Jinder gets, if I knew what your fucking car looked like, I would probably key it in the parking lot.
Yeah, but he works the crowd, and you have to remember it's not just us. I mean, kids hate him.
Anaconda Vice, he's a fellow New Yorker. He says he lives in Albany. They have Raw coming May 21st, and they're promoting it as Seth being here to take on Finn, as well as Roman versus Joe and Braun versus Elias. I now think cards subject to change. And Justin and I think it was Daniel Price both say revolving door on Jinder, Rude, Norton has come to a triple threat match at Mania. Who booked it? Yeah. And they're going to play hot potato with the title. And if I'm sure Jinder's probably going to win.
And he should.
He should. No.
I mean,
no.
They need another good heel, and he's great. Either that or you have to have Rude turn heel.
Stike Leather says Jinder is fail Aroija, and he's going to be at the concession stand during this match when he is in New Orleans. Do you got anything else on this bullcrap? Do you want to try and defend this stupid guy? Noah's here.
No.
No, you're giving up?
I've made my points. I like Jinder. I think he's a great heel.
Really?
His in-ring work could use some improvement, but...
What about his back knee?
It's not...
And he's already
just as
down
bad as Rude.
He's already down a Singh. What is he going to do?
Yeah, no, they need to find a way to have him win without...
That's like fighting.
He wins the same way every match, and it does get annoying.
By having only one Singh, it's like fighting with one testicle.
4.
Number 4, pointless. That's what I would describe the women tonight. Another women's tag match, a fake cash-in, and for no reason, on the road to WrestleMania, you decided to have your champ lose to a roll-up.
You're not even going to talk about it?
I just did talk about it.
Good. Bad. And glorious.
Go ahead. Make my day.
I mean, seriously, there wasn't anything to talk about there. I gave you all the highlight points.
Well, you also forgot Naomi and Becky and Riot Squad.
No, I said there was a tag match.
Oh.
That covers that.
I had a point. I had a legit point for that, but I'll save it because it's in my creative fail.
You do that. Berto says Jinder, Reigns, and Corbin could all commit homicide on TV and he still would not care. Wow.
But he
I don't
probably
disagree.
cares a little bit more now that Jinder's in it.
No.
Because he's made it interesting.
No. Nobody agrees with you. Jinder is a walking Clearasil commercial. Yeah. Anyway, we're at the good, the bad, and the glorious. We have good, bad, glorious, creative fail, LOL award. It is time for that. Kevin, it's just the two of us. So hopefully you're going to make me laugh with your dumb points. What do you got for good?
So good. At the beginning of this match, I had Shinsuke and Rusev. At the beginning, I had in my notes, I don't fucking care about this match anymore. Stop showing it. But then something happened. Rusev started doing those kicks, returning the kicks with Shinsuke. He was doing a little strong style. And I said, wow, this is pretty cool. So Rusev lost a match, and now he's changing his style. And it kind of continued on like that with Rusev kind of scouting some moves. And I started thinking in my head, wow, this is how you tell a story through a match. And I loved it. I loved everything about it. The finish was great. Ending with Nakamura holding his own and AJ not helping him, probably because AJ's injured, but it's beside the point. I thought it was great.
You're killing me.
All the talk about respect.
You thought it was great. Rusev and Aiden English both, in the end, got beat down by Shinsuke.
Well, yeah, I don't like that.
And you think that made them look good?
No, but...
So, I can buzz you now? Because you just said no.
I think the match itself was good. I think they should have given Rusev some camera time with Aiden at the beginning, but they probably did it to the crowd because they were already out in the ring.
The match wasn't bad.
I agree with your point, though.
The match wasn't bad, but he beat them 2-on-1, and one of them is supposed to be a big guy.
Yeah.
And that ending looked very awful. It kind of killed the match for me.
Oh, the roll-ups. And
whatever
But it was different. I liked it. It
was different because they fucked it up.
I was a big fan. What do you have?
That's my final verdict.
So enlightening.
I am going to just tell you now. I'm going to give myself a coin when I'm done. But I have Shinsuke. Shinsuke beat two guys tonight. He stood tall to show AJ, number one, AJ can't probably take bumps right now, so that's why he didn't get in the ring. And number two, he had a decent promo in the back. It was much better.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know if they allowed him to talk, but
no, they limited what he said, and it was good.
Well, no. I think they allowed him to talk the way he would to a guy backstage.
Yeah, that's true.
Just naturally. They didn't hand him a script, and he sounded much better because that's what he is. Let's see. Daniel Price, good on the board. Daniel's growing his hair out to hide calling spots, so he's got a major marquee match coming. Got to be Nakamura or Styles. Carmella failed cash-in. That is Teddy's good.
Oh, man. I have no idea what's going on.
Jey Uso and Luke Harper was good for Stike. That was one of the better matches. I'll give you that. Noah says Daniel Bryan, clap, clap, clap. Good. Charlotte and Natty for Kashmir. I thought the match was really good, but Carmella fake cash-in attempt took away from how good the match really was.
That match was awesome.
It was a good match, but Kevin, Rhodey was in here when we watched that, and I've seen them put on a really good program. I'll save my comments for a second. I'll just save them. Good Shinsuke for Anaconda Vice, and let's see over here. Good Nakamura for Justin. Good whatever the tag champs were saying. I had it muted. Is what AJC says. Their promo was.
It was good.
They're good on the mic. They play off each other. The only thing I noticed, and Kevin, you kind of pointed it out to me, was at one point one of them was completely winded and couldn't really.
Oh yeah,
it's like trying to get to the end of my sentence.
70%, 60%, and then it was just like 50, 40, 30, 20.
But then you take my 75% chance of winning. If we used to go one-on-one and then add 66 and 2/3%.
I love how you play the whole thing.
It's like when you were a kid, you got a new toy and immediately wanted to see everything it can do, and then you accidentally break it when you smash it on the ground, thus keeping you from playing it with it for around 2 years. I think he's talking about Daniel Bryan and the destruction that happened to him at the end of the night. Bad. Take it away, Kevin.
Oh, God. Ty Dillinger and Baron Corbin. That sucked ass. That was so bad. Yawn.
That botched deep six.
It was, the whole match for me just was a botch.
I couldn't tell if it was a combination of both their faults. If Baron just couldn't lift
I have
Ty,
no idea.
Or if I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I don't even know how long they gave him. It was a quick match, but man, it was bad.
My bad. My bad is going to be the fake cash in. The champ losing, not to Asuka, not in a tag match. Yes, you could say it was a screw job, but she didn't even lose to a finisher. She lost to a schoolboy roll-up from behind.
Yeah, but that's a good way to lose if you're going to. I think you still save face.
You are 3 weeks away from WrestleMania. She is supposed to be going against the streak. Last night, the one thing they did right creatively on Raw was Alexa did not lose to Asuka. She was counted out, and she left.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I kind of like this little mini thing. I don't know. I really didn't mind it tonight.
You're killing me. You're killing me how terrible you are at some of this.
Why was it? I get that the champ losing looks bad, and yeah, she's going up against a streak. So how are you going to make her look weak? That makes perfect sense. I don't know. Why was it so bad? She saved face.
Stoges Stevens, this is a pretty cool studio setup, is joining us on Twitch. He said the guy on the left looks like he pulls some really good plus-sized women. Thanks, man. And the guy on the right looks like he pulls down some fine hipster girls.
Oh, yeah, it's the glasses.
Oh,
Frankenstein.
It's certainly not the personality. I know that.
So Carmella comes out, right? This is the second time she's failed.
We're still talking about this
at her cash-in. This tells me that at Mania she might actually get the belt, and that makes me excited.
Bad, the repeated advertisement for Mixed Match Challenge from Stike. Jogging 2 miles for Noah. The clusterfuck ending to the women's match and having Charlotte lose on a roll-up. Daniel Price agrees with me. That's why he's smart. Kashmir, the Usos promo. If they're speaking to the crowd, they can cut a good promo. But when they have to go head-to-head and a verbal spat, they fall flat. New Day got to them a couple times.
Yeah, but it was still good.
Yeah,
they didn't do bad.
Exactly. They didn't do horrible. I would rather see, we talked about it last night, Carmella cashing in on maybe the other champion, Alexa Nia winner or something. But that would kill Nia if her championship was so short. The fake cash in for Anaconda Vice. This fool Carmella brings a ref down when there's already one in the ring. I didn't realize that, but he's right.
Yeah, but don't they always do that?
Yes, but not when there's already one there. When somebody gets their ass kicked in a promo, then the guy runs down with a ref in the briefcase.
Yeah.
You had who the fuck needs two refs? Only my ref can count the pin?
There was a little bit too much of a delay where she gave him the briefcase and then he didn't ring the bell. I was kind of like,
Stoja Stevens wants to know, is that a vintage Pat sweater? It's not vintage, but the logo is.
Yes. I can't believe they can see it. I gotta just like.
You can't believe they can see it? It's called a fucking camera, you idiot.
I don't look at any of this shit.
It doesn't matter if you look at it. You know we're on camera.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know my angle.
Jesus
it must
Christ.
be the.
Well, I'm moving on. Glorious. What's your glorious?
So you're gonna hate me here. Jinder Mahal.
I hate you
anyway.
anyway.
It was glorious for me. He saved the storyline for Mania, and not to harp on this point. I still don't know why you don't give the guy the credit he deserves. He's gotten a lot better, and honestly, this is a match that I now care about, and I wouldn't have if it was just Rude and freaking Randy.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
He's gotta puke!
I mean, it doesn't make you laugh when Randy comes out and Jinder starts kissing his ass. That's good.
Just go away now. Glorious for me is the Sammy KO Daniel Bryan ending. The ass kicking. Hey, you're cleared to take bumps. Congratulations. You fired us? Oh, guess what? We got nothing to lose. I am glad they kicked his ass because of the fact that the handshake, it ruined it for a second for me. You just fired them. If anything, you should have security down there and escort them out. You saw what they did to Shane. You saw what they did to Vince. Well, just KO did to Vince. But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, but it worked, given that, like kind of what he was saying, bring up the past and how much he respected him and how he hated to do it. Everything worked. I'll give you that. That was glorious.
Anaconda Vice is trying to give you some props. He says Jinder was good tonight, but he wasn't glorious. Jeez, man. Glorious final countdown. Brian motherfucking Danielson. That is from Noah. Nakamura pulling the inner heel out of Styles, and all AJ had to do was stand there not saying a word. That's from DP. Daniel Bryan for Teddy. Daniel Bryan for Stike and him taking legit bumps. Kashmir says same thing. Daniel Bryan being away for so long. His first time taking a bump, and he takes a power bomb on the apron, and he delivered some shots. So he looked pretty good, and he was wrestling in jeans and a fucking sport jacket. And Justin also says his glorious was Daniel Bryan.
I do wonder how good of shape he's in, though. I saw a little side roll.
Okay, you might see a little side roll. The guy he's not fat. He was never, like, cut
that's true.
Beefy strong or anything like that.
But 3 weeks. I mean, he had to. So I was wondering,
and he
too,
took
how long.
the nastiest bump that Kevin Owens ever delivers that actually injured Sami Zayn.
Yeah, that's a good
on
point.
the apron.
It was good.
His first night back, he took that. How could you not give him glorious? And you gave it to Jinder fucking Mahal.
Because I knew you were going to. You gave the obvious answer.
Jinder fucking Mahal. You're killing me, Smalls. Creative fail. Other than booking you in place of Medine tonight.
Because I show up.
That's true.
No Naomi.
He's back to maybe Medine now, even if he is fluish. I know earlier they were wishing him on the board that he got better, but he's fine.
So at the end of the Naomi Becky versus Riot Squad match,
you're just determined to talk about this.
Becky got the win. This is a creative fail. Becky gets a win and starts holding up her own hands, and it looked like Naomi was going to be like, "Hey, what about me?" And I was like, "Oh, they're gonna hype the women's battle royal. She's gonna throw over the ring. It's gonna be a little something like that." But no, Becky just holds up Naomi's hand and cut to commercial.
Yeah, and the match just served for the announce team to plug the women's battle royal, and that all four were in it.
Yeah, and it literally did. They advanced that storyline. Like, it went nowhere.
Yeah, Berto agrees with you, so that means you must have said something smart. Women's Battle Royal, he says for him, creative fail. My creative fail, Baron Corbin. Guess what you're doing for WrestleMania? You can attempt to be the first 2-time champion of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. That means nothing for your career. In fact, nobody has ever made anything of it.
Who's I don't even remember his freaking name anymore. Gronk's friend, didn't he win last year? I don't even see. Because he's no
Mojo Rawley.
Rawley, there it is.
Mojo Rawley's won it last year. The year before that was Baron Corbin. The year before that was Big Show. And the first winner was Cesaro. There's been 4 of them. Now, here's the thing. When we talk about, somebody's Hall of Fame resume or somebody's resume, we talk about, did they have a Money in the Bank win? Did they have a Royal Rumble win? Were they a champion? Were they this belt? Were at this time? Grand Slam, yada, yada, yada. We talk about all of that. Nobody ever goes, oh, and, Big Show was also an Andre winner.
Yeah, but I guess they do need something to fill that space in at Mania, and it gets.
Do you
guys
remember
on the
WrestleMania 2000?
I remember the game.
This is because of WrestleMania 2000. It was fun once there. They did a 20-man gimmick battle royal, and they brought all these legends back. And Iron Sheik won.
Oh yeah.
But they had all these legends there. That was something. Baron Corbin, good luck to you, buddy. Creative fails on the board. Women's Battle Royal for Berto. I already said that one. Tom Phillips flubbing his lines. Stike Leather says, let's see. Creative fail. Jinder Mahal likely getting a belt. Harley Race held. Randy Orton having it currently. That's for Daniel Price. I'm channeling my inner Adam. Cashmere says 2 women's matches and no tag matches tonight. Nope. The tag teams were featured in singles matches. The women got a tag match and a screw job. Good job for you. Anaconda Vice, might be AJ getting ready to help Knock when we all know this dude is injured. You can definitely tell, and they're trying to hide it. Yes, but they did. I don't know if that's a creative fail. The way they hit it, I thought was pretty decent. Having a stone piss break match at WrestleMania for the U.S. Triple Threat. So both Noah now saying that and Stike are going to take the Triple Threat match for the U.S. title and use that for their bathroom break. That's bad. It was WrestleMania 17, not WrestleMania 2000, is what Noah's saying. Was it? I don't know. It was fun once, is what I'm saying. It doesn't matter.
How is it a creative fail to Anaconda that AJ looked like he was going to help? Maybe because we all know, but I thought that's a creative win. I mean, the guy's injured, and they used it to advance the storyline and his character.
Yeah, Justin says his creative fail was also the women's tag match. It is what it is, man.
It's bad. Yeah, I mean, it's really bad. But overall, I do want to say I was really happy with tonight's show. I thought it hit on a lot of notes. And at the end of the day, I'm more excited about Mania.
Well, Knock, Rusev, Baron Ty, Charlotte Natty, Jimmy, and Harper, and the women's tag match were our matches tonight. They were
good matches.
They were decent. Okay, they were decent, except for Baron and Ty. I don't know who to blame. I'll blame them both, and the women's tag match. So 3 out of 5 were good. I'll give you that. So my point at the end of this is, where are we going to go? It's not. There are some really, really interesting stuff going on the card, and there's some I don't give a shit getting added in.
Well, like what?
There's like Jinder Mahal, Randy Orton, and Bobby Roode. I'm not going to go to the bathroom with that, but I'm pretty sure Jinder's going to win.
Yeah, but I mean, still, I feel like that match, at least, yeah, it would have sucked, but it would have sucked more without Jinder. I'll forever say that, because you have 2 guys just talking about respecting each other. Yeah, without him.
AJC says there's a lots of piss breaks for him. He says Raw's women's match, U.S. title, and the tag. I don't know. I want to see Braun there. Too many people on the card. Daniel Price says Joker's joining us for his lunch break. CT is joining us. He says, I was never a Daniel Bryan fan, but goddamn, am I hyped. I think we are. Don't forget your water ducky and your Mr. Bubble Bath wand, saying to Noah as Noah's leaving. LOL Award is next. That's kind of funny right there, but let's segue to Kevin to try and tell us something funny.
So I was happy we got to hear Shane's noises again from last week.
So you're recycling your LOL?
Oh, they recycled that content. Why can't it?
Okay. On the loophole, I'll give you that. On the bad side, I'll give you that. What do you think?
This is Roderick Strong. I approve this message.
All right. I guess you deserve the coin. Roderick approved. My LOL award is them promoting or teasing next week. The only match that I know for sure, because they teased it, is Sunil Singh and Jinder Mahal taking on Randy Orton and Bobby Roode in a tag match. Yeah. Nobody wants to see that, and that means I have to listen to Kevin talk about fucking Jinder Mahal again.
Who do you think wins that, though?
Not Jinder. Sunil Singh is going to take the pin, and then Bobby and Randy are going to attack each other, and then Jinder's going to hit him with the Colossus and stand tall.
Or do you think Bobby and Randy start fighting during the match and Jinder wins, or Sunil won't win, but Jinder might win?
Anaconda Vice, Adam, what belts do you think are changing at Mania? Him and his brother were discussing, and Roman's excluded because that's obvious. Vice, man, wait for our prediction show, but it's pretty obvious. I think Jinder's going to win. I think Knox going to win. I think Roman's going to win. I think that probably the Bludgeon Brothers are going to win.
Has this been a problem, though, recently with
Yeah, I think Miz is going to hold. I don't know.
It's getting easier to predict, I feel like.
Yeah, LOL, Baron Corbin botched the deep six for Stike. It was bad. I don't know if I laughed. I guess I laughed because I don't like him. Mahal Roy just seems short some baggage. Singh cleaning. That's what DP says. Yeah, there was one that got hurt. I want to see the Singh brothers versus J&J Security with Lesnar and Strowman as lumberjacks.
Jeez.
They just vault him over the top rope and they throw him back in. Actually, I don't know if Lesnar can still do that. He was looking pretty beefy last night. Kevin giving Jinder the Glorious Award is the LOL for Kashmir.
See, I'm a funny guy.
Teddy's picking up on that. Next week's tag match, Justin's agreeing with me. I want to see Strowman dragging knocked out Elias for the tag belts. I don't know who they're going to do. Have him be with Jonathan Coachman. Whoever it is, don't tag him in. No matter what, don't tag him in.
Yeah, but I feel like there's a lot that they could do with that. I'm kind of excited.
Baron's tweet at the dude tonight who said the front of his pants design looked like a giant nutsack. Baron's comments back and says, your girl DM'd me saying they were nice. LOL, that's for Anaconda Vice.
Oh, wow. He has a personality.
Which? Who?
Baron.
Yeah? Is that what happened? I'm trying to find my button. That means we're moving on.
To the Mud Report. Rolling in the mud. That's how he plays.
Medine does this segment, so I've got two things I made up on the fly, and neither are worthy. Just FYI.
I don't know anything, so it doesn't matter. I'll act impressed.
Berto, he says, not coach. I hated when they put him in matches back in the day. I did too. I think, Berto, that's why he left. It wasn't just to go, because he could have been Fuck Your Face Phillips like level running SmackDown had he not gone to ESPN for a little while. But they started putting him in gimmick matches and stuff when he was Bischoff's stooge. It was bad. And he didn't look good anyway. So, Big Cass and Strowman is what they were talking about, by the way, last night. DP wants to remind us to set up for when AOP goes main roster. I don't know about that. Anyway, this is Mud Report. I don't have much. AJ's injury. We know he hurt himself in a house show over the weekend on Saturday, and they have taken him off of all live events leading into Mania. Now, AJ responded. He says, I don't care if they have to saw my leg off and I go one-legged. I'm going to be at Mania.
That's awesome. But I think it might be worse than, you know, like than they're leading on. I mean, we didn't even see him come down into the ring tonight or leave.
We saw him backstage walking.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, one of the things I read, though, is that he has a noticeable limp.
Well, I mean, if there's cause for concern, he's going to have a noticeable limp.
You think they write that into the story anyway?
I don't know. Big good luck on your future endeavors, Cass. AJC says, Cass, did he get released? No way.
Did they? I don't know.
Rusev and Kevin McAllister, seriously, is what Daniel Price is saying for Mud Report. I don't got much, guys. The other thing I want to talk about, Rhodey had a great rant last week about the Moolah naming of the Battle Royal. I feel they should have addressed it in some way. even on social media or something. But they've already changed the name.
They have.
It's just the
I was
Women's Battle
wondering-
Royal.
Yeah, because
it has nothing to do with Moolah.
And they never even said any reason why, right? Because they I noticed
That's
that.
my point. They just removed it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. That's a miss. They should have.
That's another sweeping under the carpet.
Yeah, but I don't know. You got to remember that little kids are watching it. I mean, do they want to hear that there was this?
That's
woman
why I'm saying
pimping
social
out?
media would be fine.
Yeah.
No. You don't go into the details. You don't have to say any of that, Kevin. You can release just a press release, very simply saying, it's come to light some allegations and recent activity with Moolah, and we want to separate ourselves from it.
Yeah, I
so
agree.
that's why we're moving it.
Press release probably would have been the best.
Just fine. I mean, it doesn't even have to be on their TV show. Has nothing to do with the kids, but it addresses it. Because the reality is sponsors were going to pull. And so that's why they did it.
I mean, it was bad. And they had last week the whole glorifying Moolah segment.
Teddy, he says they should have named it after China.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, China, I think, has a porn out there with where she does a mock three-way with Vince and Stephanie. So, yeah, I don't see that making the grade, but at least everybody in that portrayal was, I guess, willing. So that's all I got for Mudderport. I don't have anything else. There isn't much for me to research because I try to stay spoiler-free, especially Brian right now, who knows way too much damn shit. Berto says call it the Bull Nakano Battle Royal rope-a-dope match. Okay, sure. Oh, AJC, it might be too soon. He says Chris Benoit, Last Man Standing Battle Royal.
God.
That would be
just wrong.
The only thing that would make that more wrong would be Extreme Rules. Extreme Rules, Last Man Standing.
Now they're going one night in China.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it was called? Yeah, of course. Of course, they know. Winner gets a golden pillow.
Oh.
That's terrible. Everybody's terrible right there. Ugh. There, Teddy. Sorry to disappoint you. No Medine. That means there's no this day in wrestling history, but we do have this.
You've got mail.
Also, Kevin, so I don't know if you know we do this. Hitman, one of our panel members, got stuck in the archives going back and listening to all our old episodes. So he gives kind of a little synopsis of one of our old episodes. This one, tonight's that he's recapping, is episode 44 from August 23rd, 2016. It's a Rawsome episode. He says, we all agree that red belts suck. Yeah. It's still over a year later, and we still think it sucked. It's it's a year and a half. This is when we first started doing this one. Rob's radio promo with his daughter. We talked about the wellness policy. Do you remember episode 44, Kevin?
Was I on it?
You left us a voicemail, apparently.
Oh, man. I forgot. Yeah, that was the first time I called in, I think. And I had no idea what you did. I mean, people had mentioned, or you had mentioned that you had the podcast. I don't even remember what I talked about. I remember hearing it and being like, man, I sounded like a jackass and not doing that again.
You still do.
No, I have to say, ever since I started taking Ginger's side, I've just felt like, the voice of the majority finally has an audience. That's how everybody feels. I'm like this crap on the board.
I like the Katie Vick Memorial Tournament. That's funny. What else we got? Someone still needed to kill the dog. Should Randy press charges against Brock? I guess we were talking about because this was after SummerSlam. We worked themselves into a shoot, brother.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember that. I'm sure we did. Rob would rather Bob be a pedophile than a Ziggler mark. That was probably one of the dumb things that Rob just said.
I remember what I talked about. Brock creates headlines. That was my point, and that's why.
But you sounded stupid saying it.
It sounded like your mom. I hate you.
Ooh, here's a funny one. Finn, when he had to relinquish the title this night, was told he would get a rematch when he comes back. He still hasn't gotten that rematch.
Has he addressed that, though?
He keeps saying that he never got a rematch. He never lost. Oh, he keeps saying he never lost it. Everyone loves the Bailey character and glad it was brought up to the main roster. Yeah. Then it got bad. The Dudleys retired, and JD starts the page talk on the board. I don't know if you remember how bad he was, but JD dragged the show into the gutter a few times, and Rob was wanting to hear why Steve was laughing, made for funny moments. Good job, JD. This was your episode, according to Hitman. So, some dumb shit that I thought of has nothing to do with wrestling. But if there was no gravity, yeah, I could fly, but there would be animal feces flying around everywhere. That would be no fun.
I don't even know what to say to that.
Kevin, you got to look in on traffic for us?
Yeah, just a word of advice. Don't drink too much because then you'll shit too much and then you'll have a rash like me. It's not pleasant.
Wow. Speed round here tonight. I wanted to kind of put this out there. Hall of Fame snubs. You know, we got the Hall of Fame they announced last night. Who was it that got?
Mark Henry.
Yeah, Mark Henry. I think well-deserved. I wouldn't necessarily, though, put him on a list of like, why haven't they put him in yet? You know, kind of.
Yeah, and it's not a bad addition, though.
No. He's definitely worthy. But when you think about who's not in there yet.
Oh, yeah.
Vader. He doesn't come to the top of the list.
Who's at your top?
My top is kind of a catch-22 because his family is the ones who have said no to it, and that is Owen Hart.
Oh, yeah. They really don't want him to be in it?
No.
Even Brett?
His wife is the one who widow.
I thought you were going to say Chris Benoit.
No. I have no issue with him being blackballed.
Oh, yeah. Me neither. I like...
Pretending he never existed is kind of fucked, but blackballing him from all future endeavors kind of thing and stuff like that, I understand and have no issue with it.
Yeah.
Maybe the Brain Busters. You know, the Horsemen got in, but the Brain Busters didn't get recognition.
What were they in?
The Tully and Arn, because they're going to put Goldberg in and they're going to put fucking Sting in. So they're acknowledging WCW credibility. The claim against the Brain Busters in the past was that they were very, very short-lived in the WWE. Well, if you're talking about what they did over there as well,
yeah,
I think they just did the Four Horsemen and gave Flair a second ring and included them in there because that's what they do. Since Daniel Bryan is back, is he now the face of WWE over Roman? Anaconda Vice says. Well, I don't know about that. And Teddy, you suck. AJ Lee would fill my Chuck Taylor's Battle Royal.
I like that one.
Berto's just saying all sorts of stuff on there. Finn lost the chance to be number one contender at last year's Extreme Rules match, is what Berto says. He lost a chance to be a number one contender, Berto. That's not the same as getting a rematch for the title. He lost a chance to be a contender. Everybody loses a chance.
Yeah, Bobby Roode lost to your boy Ginger.
Yeah, Kashmir says, when's X-Pac going to get in?
Oh, God.
Triple H and him are the only members of the clique that are not in the Hall of Fame yet. That's a good point, and I think at the end of the day, X-Pac will be the only member of the clique not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, there's no way he's getting in.
He will be. He actually will get in because I beyond that
DX.
They'll do DX. Exactly. Yeah. I believe that they'll give DX. Rey Mysterio should be in the Hall of Fame. Paul Heyman should be in the Hall of Fame, as AJC says. Both those guys are still active technically. So I agree with both of those wholeheartedly. They're not going to happen until they're good and retired. That's why The Rock is not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't count those kind of snubs because they're not inducting them because they still may wrestle again. So that's different.
Is the NWO in?
All Diesel's in, Razor's in, Hogan's in.
But if they put them in as individuals, can they put them in again as a group?
Well, I don't think the Outsiders are going to get in, but I do believe NWO is in because Hogan has 2 rings.
Yeah.
Him and I think Flair are the only ones that have 2 rings. This is time for our final thoughts. Again, I enjoyed the episode tonight. I thought there was creative stories. I thought the work around AJ not helping Knock, but taking his sweet-ass time before he potentially helped him the way Knock did, letting him get beat down a little bit. I just didn't like it that it was at the expense of Aiden English and Rusev.
Yeah, and that's a good point. I probably didn't consider that enough thinking, but I loved the match, and I liked storyline-wise, the two guys talked about all this respect stuff, and now you're starting to see these snubs.
NWO is not in, Berto says. Rick is the only one with 2 rings.
Huh?
So, the other one, I think Brian Pillman should be in the Hall of Fame, Teddy says. That's not a bad one. Rob and I had a talk off air about this. He didn't think his resume was strong enough. I said he should be. I don't think it's a question. I don't know I think Magnum TA is in there, but he might be one that they put in that his career was cut short. Can you guys hire me as your stat checker, please? Yes, Berto. We will pay you in the carpet remnants from Teddy. That's what we got for you. That's the best we can do. And they're talking about Val Venus? No way.
He did train Bobby Roode, right?
So?
Yeah, that's all he's got.
He was Sean Morley. He was like the chief or some shit gimmick. I don't know. So I enjoyed it tonight. I don't like the whole, hey, you're just going to get relegated to the Battle Royal because we don't have anything for you kind of thing, especially for guys like Dolph, Baron, Rusev, who were just featured in the last pay-per-view and are going to be left out in the cold. Final thought, Daniel Price says, ultimate submission match, Nakamura, Styles, and Bryan, book it. That would be awesome for SummerSlam. You could play that out till then if they don't switch shows with any of them.
Yeah, I guess if I just had any final thought, I really liked the show tonight.
Speak up, hold the microphone.
Was I too far?
No, I just wanted to fuck you up with a sound effect.
No, I got to remember what I was going to say. I thought they advanced the important storylines enough this week at the end of the show. I'm more excited about WrestleMania than I was going in. I don't know who it was earlier in the chat.
AJC is explaining to me why he had 2 rings. One of them was for TNA Hall of Fame for Hogan. That's why he had 2 rings. That's where that bullshit was, when he had 2 rings and Bubba Ray Dudley or some shit stole it on TNA. Aces and Eights, I think. I don't remember. Anyway, go on. Whatever you were saying was probably important, right?
No, someone on the chat. God, I hate you. There's no ladder match. There's no special matches. I mean, you either have singles, you have 3-way matches or tag matches, but there's no real special match. And again, talking about this ultimate submission match, it would be something different. I just feel like that's the one thing for me really missing from WrestleMania.
They're talking about marijuana on the board, and it made me think of Rob Van Dam. Would he ever get in?
They have to put him in. He was great.
Especially since ECW counts as part of it. Berto has a great final thought to share with us, and I like this one. He says, Ziggler decided to come back knowing his booking. He took the money over happiness, so who cares about us anymore? Now, here's the twist on that, Berto. I bet you that in his contract it was to get a title opportunity. And he didn't know that they were going to throw him in the 6-pack challenge and just get it the hell out of the way. And I bet you they didn't know that they didn't tell him flat out, hey, guess what? You're going to be in the Battle Royal on the pre-show probably.
Oh, is he in the Battle Royal?
I don't know. Everybody who's left out.
I mean, there were a few things in his contract that were pretty unique. He can leave after he makes his appearance.
Berto says we need another steel cage match at Mania. I talked about that with you. That I think maybe they could do with Kevin Owens, Daniel Bryan, Shane.
Oh, that would be great.
Because that way nobody could interfere when Daniel Bryan turned on Shane, and it could be a 3-on-1, and he's stuck in the cage.
Just gets the shit beat out of him.
Yeah. Teddy says, I'd love to party with RVD and Sabu. I bet you would. Van Dam had the balls to openly tell Vince no, walk away, and still have a job. That's what Daniel Price says. Van Dam was good. Tommy Dreamer's not in already, and that's what AJC says. NXT is the new Mania. NXT card does look really good. I'm not excited about Shayna Baszler and Ember Moon, but the rest of it does look good. Daniel Price says, make Reigns and Lesnar a 3 stages of hell match. I hate when they do that, though. It's very, very rare. They just did it recently with the American Beta, but having a 2 out of 3 falls anything, you know it's going to go to the 3rd fall.
Yeah, it always does.
AJC's saying, would Punk ever get into the Hall of Fame? Definitely worthy. Would they ever put him? Would he accept it?
See, yeah.
Because it's still his likeness and image. They can't just induct you. Well, oh, he didn't show up for his speech. I mean, these people are going to show up.
Yeah, I'm still one of the people holding out hope that he'll be back for, I don't know, one last run.
Here's the thing. I don't know, because of the paydays he's going to get for UFC, even in just the 2 matches, and the way he lives, if he would ever, the only reason they would really come back is for the money. WWE would pay him that, but Hunter is the heir apparent, and Hunter was who he had more of an issue with than anyone.
Yeah, but I don't know. I still think Vince runs the show, and I think he'll be back while Vince is still, although now he's XFL, so who knows.
Daniel Price says, after Vince dies, Punk will get in if he can coexist with Triple H long enough. I don't think he can. Daniel Bryan versus CM Punk, WrestleMania 35. Book it, Berto says. I don't know about that. And yeah, Daniel Price is echoing it again. He says Punk and Triple H legit hate each other. They do.
But they're starting to do a lot of, like, I don't know, matches for people who know about this stuff. So you think they'd ever do a Triple H versus Punk at WrestleMania?
Like they did, Matt Hardy and Edge kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where it's a real, like, we know these guys hate each other.
It would make you believe it.
It would make me believe it, but at the same time, would I trust?
Would Triple H be able to take the pin?
Triple H wouldn't take the pin, I'm sure. Punk wouldn't come back for that reason. I don't know. I feel like it would be like a Montreal Screwjob type of thing, where it ends with Punk just like spitting in somebody's face and like them getting. I don't know. But imagine if Punk was in like the Bullet Club, even now, over in NJPW.
Well, isn't he going to do that All In show?
Yeah, he's doing All In. Well, no, that's what Teddy's saying he should do, but, it's not there. And Anaconda Vice says he watched Jericho versus Punk at Mania, and that was such a great match. Yeah, that was not a main event. Punk never main evented. That was his big thing, especially since he carried the company. And they're never going to let somebody hold the title that long again, unless they just disgustingly do it to Roman.
Oh, that would be
just to erase the record there. I don't know. That's all I got for tonight. I do agree with it. We're going to have Rawsome, hopefully a better Raw, but we'll have a great Rawsome on Monday. Brian, the co-host, and Rody Rob, the host. Apparently, I am the guest host there. Kevin, are you a co-host or a guest host? Have you officially joined the Tuesday Night Smackdown crew?
I actually did get permission from my girlfriend tonight to be a regular.
So do I need to do contract negotiations with her?
Yeah. Oh yeah. She's my Paul Heyman.
Well,
times are changing. Ladies can do stuff now.
And that's for her. This is for you.
You disrespectful, stupid idiot.
That goes back to all the gender talk that you gave us. That was just so worthwhile and made everybody smile at home. Hey, tune in next time. Same smart time, same smart channel.
I'll catch you on the flip side.
Smackdown Podcast is recorded, edited, distributed, and marketed at U-Record Studios in Charlotte, North Carolina. For more information on optimizing your podcast for increased listenership, check out U-Record on Facebook, Twitter, and email sales@urecordstudios.com or visit the website www.urecordstudios.com.
Yes! 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 Yes!
You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows, visit electronicmediacollective.com.